Alrighty, are we live? Are we live? That is the great question of today. I think we are. I am 15 minutes early, so no wonder that nobody joined yet, but this is fine. Okay, let's give people a chance to react to the notification. That's gonna be fun. Okay, let's accept for talking to myself. Let's announce the stream to wherever. Let's see what the link is to my stream. That is a good question. The best question of today. To watching, nice. That is good. Copy video URL. Copy video URL. Live early. Okay. Okay, that's good. I think that's good. Alrighty. So who is in the stream already? I can see 7 people already, so that's kind of cool. You are all obviously reacting to notifications. Today is Friday, and the weekend is upon us. I really hope that my voice is fine and that it's not choppy, the sound, I mean. I have been tuning this new microphone, quite a lot with easy effects, and I don't really think that I have tuned it properly still. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna keep tuning it until it is perfect. Yes, perfect. So I have published another video today, like a couple of hours ago. I am not sure who has seen it so far, or just yet, or whatnot. But if you want, we can discuss on that topic. If you want some other topic, that is also fine. Let me go to my right screen. Mislav, welcome in. Welcome in, Mislav. I was sure that you're going to a barber to get a haircut or something, but you as well, back to you. I have just updated my system right now and got Plasma 6.4. I haven't tried any new features of that just yet, so it is what it is. What is it that I actually wanted to open in the web browser? That is a really good question. I opened the web browser for some reason, and what that reason would be, I don't know. Let's go to Phoronix to see what do they consider a worthy news today. Dan Yurov, good morning or evening. Good morning. Where would it be good morning? In America. Yeah, good morning to you. Let's increase the size of the font here. Vulkan 1.4 published with new data graph extension. Okay, that's not that interesting. Chicago, yeah, good enough. Mislav says, yeah, I have been told people do not get my sense of humor since I do not have hair. Okay. You never know. Maybe you have forgotten to shave yourself, and you're just gonna go ahead and pay someone to shave you, because that is an option with barbers. But yeah, I was. Let me switch back. I was also at my barber, and I think she cut off like this much. I think she cut off like this much of my beard. If you watch my previous video, it should be a little bit longer, although it wasn't as straight as it is now. And this part I just cut off myself, so you know, it is what it is. I do need something to cover my head. It's not very nice to see a head with no hair. Back to game stream here. Linux delivering driver fix for 30-year-old Creative Sound Blaster card. That's nice. I think I've had this Sound Blaster before. I actually think I still have it in my closet here. This one is not relevant for today. Latest Bcache FS code draws Torvalds ire over late feature codes. Okay. Microsoft releases Windows subsystem for Linux. Good for them. AMD releases the updated FOSSome. Okay. That card really goes back? Yeah, definitely does. Definitely does. Are you interested in some older hardware? I have some of the older hardware. I have some of the older hardware right here on the desk. Let me see if my camera can reach it properly. Not sure how readable this is. Actually, let me do this. Yeah, so this would be considered the slightly older hardware, I think, maybe. Also, it is hooked up to this little guy here. There is a lot of junk on my desk, but it's currently unplugged and a little bit dusty here, but you can see the power supply behind my monitor. But yeah, let's put the camera back where it should be. She's not old, she's evergreen lady. Yes. I'm actually planning to redecorate my work desk. I don't play too much with Amiga lately, so I have an idea to put a laptop with a docking station on the right side of my desk where the Amiga is right now, because I'm going to do a little bit of test to see if I can switch my complete computer, my desktop computer, my floor computer, with a laptop, and I'm going to need some space on the desk for the laptop. I can do it other ways, but I think I'm gonna do it the way I just said, and I'm gonna move the Amiga together with the Triniton tube over to my sister's house. I just need to build a little bit of a desk, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go over to her house to play with Amiga when I want to do that. That's kind of that's kind of an idea. That's kind of an idea. If you guys want, I can pull some other old hardware from my closet, but I don't think that would be really interesting to anyone. At least not as interesting as what I just showed. OpenZFS released. Okay, I guess we can check out what's new about that. Windows 11 versus Ubuntu. Okay, that's not interesting. Firmware update daemon released. Okay. NPU accelerator. Okay. It's kind of a slow news week over here, at least on Phoronix website. Debian's tag to upload reaches open beta. Okay, Intel begins sending in kernel graphics driver changes. Okay. Okay. What is this, from 2 days ago? Godot 4.5 beta released. Okay. X Wayland and Xorg server further address yesterday's security disclosures. Okay. framework laptop 12, an upgrade-friendly convertible. I was being told that the 12-inch model is not as upgradable as the 13-inch one is. Like, you can do less on this one. I mean, it's still upgradable, but not as upgradable as the 13-inch one. Servo browser supports animated GIFs. What did I say? The Amiga OS 3.3 is coming out. The guy who I have spoken with did not say. He did not say, but we can maybe search for some hints here. Let me try to... what is the website called? Hyperion? Is it? Yeah, it is. Amiga OS 3.2 update 3. Okay, this is not the answer that you were looking for, but we can read this as well. Reaction classes, text editor. Okay, a little bit of RAM freed up, new kickstart, some other fixes. Yeah, that's not here. Let me see. Let me see if I can bring something over here. Silver Sword. I have talked to the guy. Interesting. I have talked to the guy that is developing Amiga OS, and he told me something about it. Now I need to remember what was his name. Let's go to myself and see who I am following. Maybe I can see here who he was. Maybe I can remember. I don't think it's this guy, but worth checking out. Nope. Robert. Nope. Who is this guy? Photographer. Robert something. Okay, some Polish guy. Nope. Michal Brazda. I don't think this is the one. I'm gonna find this guy. I don't follow that many people. Why do I follow elementary? Vlastimil. Not really. Not to worry, I just remembered because you showed your Amiga. Yeah, let me see if I can find this guy quickly. If not, no matter, but maybe I just can. Not this one, not this one. Charlie. Software developer. Emmanuel. See, I have some notes on people. I have some notes on people of my own, but that's not the one that I'm looking for. Notes on people is cool because I keep forgetting who is who. Hello. Okay, Simon. Some guy Simon. Okay. Matt. Oh, this is kind of me. This is kind of me. This is kind of magic. This is not Amiga developer for sure. Ben. You never know. You never know. Yeah, I think I have went too far already. I may have skipped him or something. Riley? I know who Riley is. This is kind of magic. Super Tux. Yeah, I'm lost. I'm lost. I don't even think that he told me the release date, but he did give me some kind of a hint, and I was hoping if I can find his profile, I can look up my conversation with him. I can't look at notifications because I have too many of those, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's pull this away. Where were we here? Alienware, Qt Creator, Mesa something, Linux something, Xorg something, NVIDIA something, AMD something, KD Plasma something. Yeah, I mean, these are news, but not very live stream worthy to be fair. Do you guys have any topics to talk about? If it's not maybe new Plasma that I just got updated. Let's see what I don't know. Let's see if I click read announcement. It opened in my default browser. Let's see what the announcement says. Smoother and friendlier. More flexible tiling. Choose a different tile layout for each of your virtual desktops. Let's see. Let's see, where do we configure that? Tiling. Tiling. Screen edges. Trigger quarter tiling. I'm just trying to guess where that would be. The videos should give us a hint about how this new tiling works. I still don't see anything new here. I don't get it. What is new here? I don't understand what is new about this tiling, but okay. New spectacle. Oh, that's kind of interesting. New recording, new screenshot. Mislav says, yeah, Trixie being in development, are you sure it is not too early for daily driving? I think it's not too early. Look here. Download Debian. So when you go to download Debian, there is ISO images for Debian testing. And you can see here from a month ago, they have something called release candidate. So it's this, right? Yeah. So I have reinstalled this, what they called release candidate. And I'm not sure if I want to hook up my Trixie right now to the live stream, but I guess I can. I guess I could. I guess I could. Let me see. My HDMI. Where did I put my HDMI cable? HDMI cable for live streaming from a second computer. So I'm just gonna boot up T580 with Trixie for now, so we can check it out a little bit. Let's see if the I'm not sure if OBS is going to recognize the capture card unless I restart OBS, but we are going to see. This goes into the laptop, of course. Okay. Trixie powering on. Yeah. Okay, it works from attempt 1. That's always nice when things work. Unify outputs. Great. Neil Thompson, welcome in. I have no idea what you mean by D. Here we are. Oh, the Shockmaster. Yes. About this system, not sure. Is the font big enough or should I zoom in? This is KDE Plasma 635 on Debian Trixie. Can you see it? Kernel version 6.12.32. Does it say Trixie? Yes, it does. Debian 13. There aren't many updates incoming anymore. So basically, the system is pretty frozen. There will be updates, of course, but they're not incoming as fast as they are on Arch Linux or the SID, for example. I have ran full upgrade today after a couple of days, and it says there is nothing to update. So from this perspective, I think it's getting closer to the release, and I wouldn't say that it is not good for daily driving. I think the opposite. I think it's good. Maybe it's not very smart to put it on your work computer, because you simply want the Debian team to be responsible for how your computer operates from day to day. So from that perspective, maybe wait for a full release and a little bit more, not even day one, because day one there will be like thousands of beta testers rushing in. And I say beta testers, when I say that I mean users who want the new stable, and they will discover some things that could be improved for sure. So if you need like ultimate stability, maybe you can wait for the first point release, but I would say that a couple of weeks after release it's already near perfection. Yeah, so this is the installation that I did a couple of days ago with Trixie, and I didn't really install anything. Like, I have Telegram for chatting with my friends, and I think that's it, what I installed so far. Maybe OBS. I think I installed OBS and Kdenlive. OBS. Yeah, I installed OBS. Kdenlive is not yet installed, but I guess we can fetch it. I guess we can fetch that. If I'm going to be reinstalling this operating system like in a day or two, Mislav knows why, then maybe I'm just not gonna bother today with installing anything on here. from FlatHub. Yeah, we can pull from FlatHub. My original idea was to install and configure everything on T580. And if I'm super happy about a month in, then I would just move the entire SSD to my T480, so I can free up my T580 for testing other distributions. That was kind of an idea, because I mostly use T580 for testing distributions. And sometimes this takes a day or two, sometimes this takes a month, but T580 is constantly in the role of being a testing ground for everything that I need to be everything that I need to have tested. So from that perspective, that was kind of the goal, just to, if I would end up really happy with everything that I have been using for a month, that would mean that I have already installed and configured a lot of things, right? And even the release would be somewhere very close. That was the reason why I was planning to just move the SSD over to T480, simply to not have to, configure everything from scratch. I could move my entire home directory. That would work as well, yeah. But I don't know. It was just an idea. Rodion is Ishakov. Ishakov, is that a Russian last name or other Slavic country? And yes, welcome in. Thank you for the hat. Neil Thompson is asking, has Debian Stable 13 been officially released? As Mislav says, just release candidate 1. The official release is coming in, I can't tell, but at least 1 month more. At least 1 more month. Ahmed, welcome in. Radio controlled version. It's the radio controlled version. I need to develop my skills with what I just did. I still have a lot of resistance in the throat when I want to do that. Try Debian Herd. That one is no longer. That one is no longer being created. They don't have it anymore. I can try one of the old Debian Herds, but it's no longer a viable product. Drogmaster controls release candidate 1 via radio control. I'm just joking. I mean, if my community likes me fooling around, then I'm just gonna fool around, yeah. So Neil is fairly regular here on the on my channel, so I'm more than happy to accommodate my community with whatever is in my power to do, even if it means dancing in on one foot. That would be kind of stupid. I can't really dance. Ahmed says, can you even easily find hardware compatible with the Herd kernel? I don't know. There is a good possibility that Herd could work on T580 ThinkPad, because I really haven't had the opportunity to find anything that doesn't work on T580 or T480, that these are the same. For example, people were telling me how it's difficult to get FreeBSD Wi-Fi working and stuff like that, and sleep is not working well on laptops. And I was like, what are you saying? Everything works for me. Everything works out of the box, but that's on T480, T580. Then there was OpenBSD when I was testing that. Why did I? Sorry, my laptop went to sleep. OpenBSD, same story on T580, T480. It just works. Everything just works. It is slightly. What is my password anyway? Yeah, it is slightly older laptop, but still very punchy and still does, I would say, everything that I need. But next few weeks are going to show if it has the. Actually, no, Mislav, right? Next few weeks will not show if T480 or T580 is enough for my desktoping needs. But okay, more on that later. Ahmed says this sounds like Venom from Spider-Man. Actually, Neil Thompson talked me into that. It is something that I'm not allowed to show on the stream because last time I showed it on stream. After that, YouTube kind of demonetized my video and told me that I'm not allowed to put that on the screen. And I even had it muted. But even muting it wasn't enough because as soon as I showed the picture of that guy from World Wrestling Federation, immediately YouTube like striked me for that. So I'm not allowed to. Now I'm not allowed to show Shockmaster on YouTube. It's against the something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I actually think I have a screenshot of YouTube telling me that it was not allowed. And I have pasted it into my matrix, but these are older pictures. Let me go to new ones. Yeah, these are new pictures. Sorry, I'm looking for YouTube screenshot. Maybe I didn't paste it on Matrix. I don't remember. It was this one. Video copyright details. There are visibility restrictions on your video. The copyright claim on your video doesn't affect your channel. This is not a copyright strike. This video can't be seen in some territories due to one or more claims, and this video can't be monetized. Yeah, that's what happened when I showed Shockmaster picture on the screen. Be careful not to dox yourself with what? By showing my chat? Ahmed, you mean by showing the chat? Neil Thompson says, I'm using LMD 6 and updating software only when its update manager tells me. Therefore, with my Debian 12 and my kernel 6.1, most of my software is getting quite behind. But if you are... Ahmed is saying, yeah, your chat and stuff, but my chat is public. You know, you can join my chat and see all of these pictures. this here, Linux Renaissance lobby. It's all public here. All these live chat room, all these chat rooms are public chat rooms. I use Matrix for nothing private. You can just scroll up through the chat how much you want if you want to chat, you know. Neil said that his software is not up to date, but you know, on Arch Linux, which is what I'm currently using, not the thing that you see on the screen, but rather my computer from which I am streaming. The one that you see on the screen is not the computer that I'm streaming from. On Arch Linux, I have like OBS from FlatHub, Kdenlive from FlatHub. Both of these are not good on Arch repository. I have some more applications like web browsers from FlatHub. There is more stuff going on from FlatHub. I even used GIMP from FlatHub for a time. I switched back to the Arch packaged version, but generally I didn't really notice any difference. So from the perspective of using a stable core such as Debian, like what I'm doing right now, or what Neil is doing with the with Linux Mint, it's okay. You can get new applications through a different repository, through a different distribution. FlatHub, I call that a distribution. It's technically not, but it kind of behaves as one, at least from the repository perspective. And the kernel, it doesn't make too much sense. I was just talking today on my chat. You need new kernel if you buy a newer hardware than the kernel is, and then you're just going to fetch the new kernel from Debian backports, because that's how it works. And on the next Debian update, you're just not going to need the backported kernel anymore. In the meantime, maybe for video games, you could use a newer kernel, but for Radeon cards and stuff like that. But that's like from case to case basis. I don't remember really needing a newer kernel for video games. I'm not saying that you will never need it, but I just don't particularly remember that any of my video games didn't work because my kernel wasn't up to date or something along those lines. Ahmed says, my father has an old 32-bit desktop. I installed LMDE for him and he couldn't be happier. Yeah, LMDE is, from one perspective, it's great because you constantly get new desktop environment. So the Cinnamon environment is constantly new on LMDE, and that's great. That's kind of amazing, actually. It's not particularly needed because desktop is just desktop, but I kind of like getting some of these core updates. Pizarro25, welcome in. Welcome in. Let me check what we can do with my Debian 13 here on the laptop. I'm not sure if it makes any sense to show this on screen. I was kind of trying to configure my Firefox to start up faster. Does anyone know how to kind of cache Firefox binary to load up automatically into the RAM on system startup? I don't really want Firefox to load. I just want Firefox to be present somewhere in the memory, so when I want to load it, so it loads up faster. For example, if I want to, let's close Firefox. So you have seen Firefox running, right? And I have closed it, which means that it has been opened. So some of the parts of Firefox should be cached. And let's go and start Firefox once again in 3, 2, 1, go. See how much that took? Like at least 2 seconds. And the whole system is very clean. There is nothing going on this Debian Trixie. So it's just the matter of Firefox taking a long time to start up. And it's not really a deal breaker, but since I am installing a fresh operating system, I kind of prefer to install one application at a time and simply configure everything to the bleeding edge of performance tuning as possible. I mean, I don't expect Firefox to, like start up immediately if it's starting from the cold start. But if there would be some kind of a way to tell Linux to just cache Firefox in some way, that would be great. Just keep it, I mean, not loaded, just keep it half cached or something. I really don't know how to do that. Sudo apt install. Let's do that. I typed the wrong password, didn't I? Yeah. I felt it under my fingers. Okay, Neil Thompson says, oh yes, about half of my apps are Flatpaks, which are more up to date, but the system packages are getting pretty old and will be well when Debian 13 and LMD 7 are released. Patience. The question mostly comes down to whether you really need newer versions of these base packages, because Debian keeps giving you security updates, so you don't really have any kind of remote exploits going on with your system. It's just a matter of question whether you need new features. And by new features, for example, what I mean is, let's say you said that you're using a package manager and from the Mint team, right? The GUI one. So you're not very affected by this in that case. But for example, in Debian 12, this is how you update the system if you do it from the command line. So it's sudo apt update to pull the to refresh the database, yeah. And then you can do sudo apt full upgrade. So you can either do upgrade or full upgrade. Upgrade will upgrade everything and install new packages if they are required. But if some of the packages require uninstallation of some currently installed packages, then the upgrade command will not remove them. However, the full upgrade command will remove the packages and it will finish the upgrade to be complete, yeah? So that's the second command that you need to do. And of course, I don't have anything to update right now, but there are two commands. You see, the first one is the package repository refresh, and the one just tells me that there is nothing to update. However, in the new version of apt that ships with Trixie, you can just do sudo apt dash capital U full upgrade. So this is just one command, and when I press enter, you will see that it is now refreshing the package database and telling me that there is nothing to update. So this is now just one command that does everything. There is no second command needed anymore. So this is really practical, and this is one of the examples in which you may want a newer version of some base utilities. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's not really up to being patient or stuff like that. It's just that things will come when they come, and in the meantime, it is what it is. I can type 2 commands. It's not a big deal. I have like, how many are there? Let me just switch to my computer here. Like I have most of these servers that I maintain at home are Debian, yeah? So I have this Arch Linux here just for testing that's turned off. I have Borg backup running. This is Debian 12. This is just Debian 13 as some kind of a testing ground. Home Assistant is running a Home Assistant operating system. It's some kind of a custom Linux distro. Jellyfin is running on Debian 12. LPIC demo is running on Debian Unstable plus Experimental. My Matrix server is running on Debian 12. My Minecraft is running actually on Arch Linux. Nextcloud is running on Debian 12. This one is just for testing. PeerTube server is running on Debian 12. Pi-hole is running on Debian 12. So basically I have to connect to each one of these and give them commands to update every now and then. And since these are all virtual machines, they are running on a host machine, which is also Debian 12. So every now and then I have to update that one as well. And I also have in the cloud 2 more Debian 12 machines, which are being currently prepared for my mail server and for my forum that I'm going to release into public soon. It will be a forum on this domain here. Let me just get rid of this laptop. FOSSheadquarters.org. So currently you will not see anything meaningful on this domain. Maybe I can paste it in chat here just for shits and giggles. But generally, this is my new domain that is first and foremost going to be hosting my new forum. And on this forum, the idea is that community will be able to gather and discuss all kinds of issues that they have. They will be able to ask questions. They will be able to answer questions. And I'm not really trying to take away like Mint users from the Mint forum. It's more like a generalized forum where random community will be able to feel at home and kind of I think I already said what I meant, like the keywords community and feeling at home. So a lot of people like or love to be able to find some kind of a home for themselves and not necessarily be on a particular forum from some kind of a project. Because when you go to the Mint forum or Arch forum, you are there strictly because of that particular project and not to feel the community. I mean, it is a community as well, but I'm not sure if I'm transferring my thoughts properly. Some people just want to broaden the topic to more than just their own operating system, and they love to converse with other Linux fans, with other FreeBSD fans, and stuff like that. So it will be like a free software community in the form of a forum. I think I fairly explained it well. And of course, these things already exist elsewhere, but I'm getting a feeling that nowadays a lot of things fall down to some kinds of, now don't get me wrong, a lot of things fall down to certain codes of conduct that kind of tend to give people less freedom to express themselves. I'm not sure if I if I said what I really meant, but I think that should explain it fairly well, because one of the main drivers behind kind of creating what I'm creating here is that I want to give an opportunity to every grown up to be grown up, and that's about it. That's like going to be the main rule there, you know. So it is what it is. Currently, this is just hosting some of my links, but in a couple of weeks, it's going to be live. I'm just gonna catch up with chat quickly because I've been doing this monologue for a while. Pizarro says, yeah, I'm on LMD too because I love cinnamon. On vanilla Debian, they have old versions. Okay. Ahmed says, I couldn't install mainline Linux Mint for him because it's Ubuntu. And Ubuntu no longer supports 32. Okay. Pizarro says, Dart, isn't it time to say goodbye to Firefox? I don't know. I don't use it on my main computer, but it came pre-installed with Debian. I wasn't even thinking about it. I don't know. I'm still not sure which browser I really want to use. I'm kind of patiently waiting for Ladybird, and I am hoping that it will be good enough for me to just use it as a daily driver. I hope so. It's pretty much it all pretty much comes down to hoping. So let's see how that goes. In the meantime, I'm gonna see what else can I use. On my main computer, I use Vivaldi and Florp, but Florp is kind of giving me some random issues, so I'm not sure how well that project is progressing. And here on the screen, you can see LibreWolf, but I don't use LibreWolf at all for myself. I only use it for live streams because LibreWolf by default forgets everything that I do. So it's kind of practical to bring up a clean slate web browser in front of my audience. And I am absolutely sure that this browser doesn't remember anything that I typed into it. It's really practical for to keep it around for live streams. Neil Thompson is asking, Ivan, welcome in to the stream. Neil Thompson is asking, I thought the Debian system package versions of apps rely on multiple dependencies, and if those dependencies are aging, the newer version of the app may not work. So LMDE leaves those at old. I don't know. I know that Debian sometimes updates their versions of apps, but I'm not that familiar with what is it that Mint team changes. Ivan is asking, is now the right time to ask something about installation of Arch Linux? I'm stuck at something. Yeah, Ivan, go ahead and ask. If I know the answer, I'm gonna answer it. If I don't know, maybe someone else knows the answer. So feel free. This live stream is about all kinds of stuff. So whichever way you want to steer the topic towards, be my guest and let's go that way. Neil Thompson is saying versions, and so there I am with Debian system package apps outdated. No, it's not that big of a deal, which is why I'm being patient and waiting for LMD 7. Okay. Neil is saying I will bookmark that link. Thank you. Thank you. Akis Animates, what do you think of LibreOffice? I have been using LibreOffice since forever, literally. Like before LibreOffice even got born, I was already using Sorry, my brain stuck. What was LibreOffice forked from? OpenOffice, was it? Was it called OpenOffice before that? Let me check here. Wiki LibreOffice. It was so long ago. Fork of OpenOffice in 2010. Yeah. So before 2010, I have been already using OpenOffice for a long time. First and foremost, I don't have to pay for it. Or if I want to pay for it, I can, but I don't have to be forced into it like Microsoft does it. Second, it's free software, and by free I mean Libre. So you can be sure that it is freedom respecting software, so that's a huge plus. Third thing, it's actually better than Microsoft Office, and I have been using it for ages at work because I have this workflow. Now, this is very specific for me, but it's kind of interesting. There is some kind of a software that I use at work, and this software has a lot of users. And often I have the need to configure just a couple of new users on this software. And then I export, let's say that I have created 5 new users. And then I export the list of these users and their entire configuration as a CSV file, like a comma separated values file. And when I open the CSV file in LibreOffice, it opens up in a spreadsheet. It opens up in a way that I have it laid out like this. One column is like a username, the detail 1, detail 2, detail 3, detail 4, and etc. Right? So when I do that, it's just once double click. I just double click on the CSV and it opens up like that, fully editable in the LibreOffice. And then I can, for example, spawn like 100 more lines of the same configuration and just change the usernames, and then I can import it back into my software, and voila, I have in 5 seconds created 100 users with the template that I have created in the beginning. And why I have been describing all this is because with Microsoft Office, the same workflow looks like this. I download the CSV file, all the same, and when I double click it with Microsoft Office, it opens up in the Excel, but everything is in the first column. So I can't really edit anything because everything is in the first column. And then I have to select this first column, which contains everything. And then I have to go to the menu called Data. And after going to Data, sorry, I kind of forgot, it was ages ago. In Data, there is a tool called Convert Column to Data Structure something. And then a wizard opens up and it asks me what is my delimiter, and then I tell it my delimiter is comma, and then I go next, and then it presents me with an example, and then I have to verify if it got it correctly, and if it did, then I finish the wizard, and then it lays up the look of everything the way it is supposed to be, the way LibreOffice does it fully automatically. So already I have lost like 2 or 3 minutes just on opening the file, and I haven't even started editing yet. So Microsoft Office loses me like 2 or 3 minutes on every startup of the file, and it would be acceptable if I would do that once a week, but I tend to play with these comma separated files like multiple times in one day, and I really got very annoyed with the inability of Microsoft software to do a very simple thing which LibreOffice can do. So from this perspective, LibreOffice has won by a huge margin for me, and this is not the end. In Microsoft Office, when I'm done with editing, I press save, and for some really stupid reason, Microsoft Office converts all my commas into semicolons. And I have no, but I should not swear. I have no clue why is it doing that. But when I'm finished with Microsoft Office and I have saved it, now I no longer have a comma separated values file. Now I have a semicolon separated values file, which I now have to edit in Notepad++. So after that, I have to go and search and replace every semicolon and automatically replace it with the colon, and then save it again, and then Microsoft Office has lost me another 2 or 3 minutes. So this is already stacking up to be a huge time loss for me and a huge annoyance, and I simply never want to deal with that again. So if you wanted my honest answer, if LibreOffice is good, yes, it is absolutely awesome. So thank you for listening to my monologue, but you wanted to hear the answer from me. You got the answer from me. Where were we? I'm just catching up with chat. Ahmed is asking, does XLibre dropping X-Wayland support mean that Wayland users won't be able to use it? Yes, that is correct. That is very much correct. So basically, XLibre is geared more towards X users, and these users are not going to have any issues with this. But the problem is in the distributions, because, for example, OpenMandriva is one of the distributions that are very much thinking about adopting XLibre. But their problem is that if they swap Xorg for XLibre, then OpenMandriva's Wayland users will not be able to use X applications. And there is a lot of X applications out there. So OpenMandriva's Wayland users are going to be left dry. And most likely these users will go away and find themselves a different distribution which runs Xorg plus Wayland. So that's one case for OpenMandriva, and the second case for OpenMandriva is that they will simply not care about Wayland users, and they will be more than happy to get rid of every Wayland user out there. So you should ask them which option is what they are planning. But the thing is, right? The XLibre users will have potentially less distributions to choose from, because if any of these distributions who want to adopt XLibre isn't based enough, then I'm not sure if they will have enough balls to leave Xorg, simply because they want to take care of their their Wayland users. I'm not saying what they should do. I'm just saying what is in front of them as a choice. Ivan is asking, I install Arch Linux on my laptop and installation passed okay, but after reboot I get grub screen. Did you install it manually by reading the entire instructions manual, Ivan, or did you install it with Arch install script? Neil is asking, on PeerTube you use the name LXR. The first thing I thought is that LXR sounds like cryptocurrency. I'm sorry, Neil, but my goal was to shorten Linux Renaissance to as few letters possible. and the only thing that I managed to came up is LXR. I really couldn't find anything shorter than Linux Renaissance that would really work and be recognizable as the short for Linux Renaissance. And LR, I think LR was not possible. Like, I think it didn't allow me to put just 2 characters, or I didn't like it for some reason. I can't remember at this point. Ahmed is saying, this is sad. I really wanted to use XLibre X Wayland because I thought it would be an up-to-date and well-maintained X server. Ahmed, it is aiming to be an up-to-date, maintained and patched server, but you will not be able to use it from Wayland. No one, welcome in and hello back at you. Neil Thompson is saying X-Wayland still exists within the original Xorg. Plus Wayland are all still there under the Red Hat Free Desktop umbrella. Neil Thompson, yeah, but Ahmed was saying that he would like to have his underlying X-Wayland software be patched properly, and he believes that XLibre is at least going to be more secure than Xorg, which he now has installed. Now, I really cannot foretell in the future because I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell whether or not XLibre is going to end up like an awesome thing, or is it going to be a flop or something in between. But as I said in my video, I really wish them like all the good luck, best of luck, and how do you say it? Like Godspeed. Ivan says Arch script. That's a bit odd if your Arch script didn't work. I used the Arch script a couple of times. It never failed. I can't really. I don't know where to begin with troubleshooting. Ivan, maybe you can join my matrix room and paste some of the screenshots there. Maybe we can help you there. If you just join my matrix room, there is not only me there, but a couple of more guys that are knowledgeable and willing to help. So from that perspective, maybe you could share a couple of screenshots or type some comments and then get back to us with what the output of something is, and maybe we can figure out where it got wrong, where it went wrong. Mislav has to go. Okay, thank you very much for joining. Trixie works, no issues. Installation. Yeah, of course it works. Of course it works. If you want, Ivan, I can install Arch Linux right now, but that will not help you to figure out what went wrong on your end. Ahmed says, I bet someone will fork XLibre just to add X-Wayland back in. I don't think so. No one says maybe use Discord. I'm not on Discord. Discord is a proprietary software, and there is no real reason why I should use that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't hate Discord. I just don't have any reason to use that. When the free software ecosystem is not offering me a solution for something that I need, then I just use proprietary software. But if I have the choice between proprietary software and free software that do pretty much the same thing, then there is no real reason why I would willingly want to go with a proprietary software. That's just how I function. XGUI Studio says I have to use Windows sometimes and Windows suck. That's fine. I mean, if you have to, it's not up to you to. The software developers are the ones who should be making free software, not users. Users will simply use what they can. From that perspective, everything is fine. Sami Murtomaki, there is a reason to hate Discord. There could be a reason to hate Discord, but my overall stance in life is that I really don't hate anything. I'm missing an English word. I really don't hate anything inanimate. Is that a good word? Inanimate. So I could get angry at another human, perhaps, but I can't get angry at Discord because Discord didn't do anything wrong to me. It's just software written by some company. And also I can't hate a company because a company also didn't do anything wrong to me because the company is also inanimate, but some people stand behind the company. So now we are coming to people who made Discord. But then again, these people also didn't do anything to hurt me, to be honest. They only want to earn money. So the only thing that I can do with these people is simply not use their product until they decide to change their business model into making it free software. And that's a chance for them to give me a green light to try their software. That's fine. To be honest, I did use Discord previously, but Matrix is so good nowadays. It simply does what I need it to do without any silly, unnecessary bells and whistles, animations, roles, stickers, paid masks around your avatar, and subscriptions to upload an image larger than a couple of megabytes. I don't remember. There are so many restrictions that it's just plain dumb. Neil Thompson is saying, regarding everything about the XLibre deal, I only see positive outcomes from it all, more options for the user. X-Wayland problems, wherever there is user demand, things will happen. Options will happen. Yeah, I mean, I do understand. That. So I wouldn't really worry too much about what is now. Just give them some time. Do express your wishes and desires and opinions publicly. Like, do tell them what you expect from them, both to the Xorg team and to the XLibre team. Tell them both as a user what you want. And eventually you will see which ones of these are capable of listening to their users. I'm not going to prognose which ones are going to be. I'm just saying that it is very healthy for the community to voice your opinions loudly and publicly into what matters to you. And just go ahead and join their forums, their chats, both of them. I'm literally serious about this. Go both to XLibre spaces and to the Xorg spaces and tell them both as a users what is it that you need, and then you will see how much they care about you as a user. That's all. If enough people voice their opinions and their needs, one of these two will have to uh, give people what they want. If both of them, hypothetically, if both of them end up not caring about the user base, there will be another fork. That's how free software works. Ivan said, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm late with the with reading, so I'm no longer sure what was about." XGUI Studio also said something short. Codebeam, welcome in. There is open source Discord. It's called Spacebar. Code BAM. Two problems with open source Discord. First of all, it's against the terms of service. So if Discord catches you using that, you're gonna get banned. Second problem, the server from the server side of Discord is still proprietary, and I still vote for not necessary. I still vote that it's unnecessary, but I really have no reason to tell any of you not to use Discord. If you like it, if you want to be there, all good and fine by me. I was merely expressing my own personal stance on what I use and what I am willing to use. In the beginning, people were telling me, like good friends of mine were telling me, like, don't start your community on Matrix. You have to start your Linux Renaissance community on Discord, because if you do that on Matrix, you will have very little users on your space, and nothing is going to be happening there, and you will be missing out on so many of the potential community. And I was like, what the hell do I care? If people really want to be a part of my community, they will come where I tell them to come. Like, this is really what it all comes down to. If something is really bad software, then this community of mine will voice their opinion and tell me, like, Dart, this software that we are all using, it kind of sucks. We should change it to something better. And then we will change it together, because this is like a part of me. I like to do what the community around me tells me that it's better for the overall health of this community. And if everyone kind of agrees, hypothetically, that my Matrix kind of sucks and there is a much better free software solution, then yeah, let's go there. It's all good. It's all good. I just erected my new Matrix server. It's kind of interesting to learn how to handle that, and it's nice. XGUI Studio says, does Open Mandriva have switched to XLibre? No, they haven't switched to XLibre just yet. They are merely considering it. But I have been to their development chat room, and as far as I have seen, they have an issue with XLibre not supporting XWayland, and they are currently thinking about how to handle that. So I don't think they have even decided what do they want. Alexei says you can just use Discord via web browser. Their app is mostly a web browser anyway. I agree. XGUI Studio too much for can be bad though. Yeah, that's true. Neil Thompson, Google hurt us insidiously. Facebook hurt us openly. Google, I am here watching you silently. Facebook, all your friends are here. Come join the party and let me know about your entire life. CodeBAM, Matrix is what I prefer anyways. Well, then we are on the same page. FedCT, I hate Linux. Well, good for you, but I don't hate Windows. I don't hate macOS. So what are we going to do now? Now, between you and me, Fed City, there is only one person who has hate in his heart, and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm just catching up with chat. It showed up on your recommendations. Yeah, YouTube algorithm is like that. I'm sorry about that as well. I'm sorry that you have hate in your heart, and I'm sorry that YouTube algorithm is attacking you. Alexei is saying, and so you decided to join a Linux-related stream to say that you hate it. I'm fine. I'm fine with us having diversity in this chat. This is all good. This is all good. Fed City saying, "Oh, okay, at least I'm not Russian." And he says bye, and we say bye, and maybe a custom fork. My condolences. Also bye from me. It was nice to have you on here. I mean, if you feel like talking to some Linux people, feel free to come back anytime on the stream or the next one. But I would recommend maybe a little bit of yoga practice, like some of the mindfulness. It's kind of good for the heart and soul. Dan Yurov, I don't hate any operating system, but I'm not a big fan of my brother-in-law. There we go. There we go. XGUI4 Studio says natural diversity is great. Alexei says you're such a diversity, equity, inclusion person. Yes, 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 definitely I am. But the problem is that I kind of really care about having everyone around. Unlike some of the popular, COCs that are not very, like we want diversity, but only when it excludes these people, right? That's not what I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of grown-ups. So it's been like a year and a half since I have been saying this, since my channel was created. And that is that this community is about being a grown-up, and if you can be a grown-up, then you're a welcome person around here. How did I become so wise? I'm not really wise. I'm really not. Neil Thompson and by mate Fed CCT meant they made the mate desktop environment, right? I have actually used the mate. I think I still have it installed on what I installed like a couple of days ago. Where was it? Debian. Do I have Debian 13? There we go. Debian 13 here. I'm not sure what did I do with this installation, but I think I put mate on there. I don't quite remember. I was kind of juggling something here, removing packages, adding packages. Maybe I broke it. This is LOX encryption. Login. Will there be a login? There is no. Yeah, I think I broke the login screen, but I think I had made this installation. We don't really need that one. Shut it down. Shutting down. Nice. How is everyone doing? Welcome in Iceblade. We are doing fine. We are doing fine. We have had some person in here just a couple of minutes earlier. He was kind of unenlightened in the ways of the free software, but he went away. Antonich or Antonik, why man? Why you changed to freaking Debian? You betray us Arch users. I am still on Arch. I'm still on Arch. It's not that I. It's not that I fast fetch. It's not that I like switch. I am currently in the process of having Debian already installed on this computer here, and this is going to be my well, let's call it a testing ground for the next month to see. There are two tests actually. One of the tests is that's not what I wanted, but okay. One of the tests is that I wanted to see how well this laptop can work for me with these specs as my main computer. And the second test is I want to see how well can I handle a stable distribution for my workflow, and if I'm going to feel that I'm missing out on something. So that is a test. Eventually, when Trixie is released, I'm going to put it on my work laptop immediately. So that's not like that's not up for debate, because I really don't need a rolling one on my business laptop. But as I said, for my home usage, I'm doing this experiment, and I really can't do any sudden decisions because I kind of regret it after a while. So I'm not really uninstalling Arch. It is going to stay as is. I'm just going to have two computers from which my current Arch installation is going to, for the next month, my Arch is going to switch from being my main computer to being my gaming only computer. And I'm going to have only Steam on it. I'm just going to disable SDDM. I'm not going to uninstall anything. Just disable SDDM and make Steam launch directly. And the laptop will be as a testing ground to see how that works for me. Iceblade is saying, doing good myself. What is the current topic? I don't know what is the current topic. I'm just answering everything. XGUI for Studio, diversity, equity, and inclusion is bad. Natural diversity, inclusion of everyone, and equity of opportunity is great. I think that's the same thing. It's just a matter of how you weaponize it or not. In the basis of what DEI is, it's actually good. It is supposed to be welcoming of everyone. But the day who they are, some of they do not really care about their policies, and they selectively apply it to different people. So it's not about including everyone, it's more about who they want to exclude. And that is a little bit of a shame, because the main premise behind DEI is actually fine. No one is saying I don't know how to join a matrix, or I would chat. That kind of felt weird. No one is saying I don't know how to join. Just click on the link. Matrix. There you go. Click on this link, no one, and it will take you to the list of the clients that you can use. Then install the client, make yourself an account if you like, and maybe then click the link again, so it will just take you to my room. 2 room changes. CodeBam joined and Ivan joined. So 2 of you have joined and we only are missing no one at this point. Let me answer this one. I will help with grub troubleshooting later, but feel free to post as much info as you can. Maybe someone else can help while I am streaming. Okay, so that would be what I wanted to say. MC is my favorite game ever. I don't know what MC is. Minecraft? Everyone knows that wisdom correlates with beer length. Actually, look at this. Let me show you something. Where is my Florp browser? Florp browser. View PeerTube Studio. What did I do? Videos. Which one is the latest one? This one. Anti-cheat dilemma. Okay. Okay. Can you see the beard on this video that is going to be released on Tuesday? Yeah, and now see this beard. And now this one. And now this one. So I think my hair barber stylist, I think she cut off like this much of the beard. I think she cut off like this much today. It is what it is. She said she had to. So I am this much less wise today. Antonich says, do you know of any good Linux book to buy to learn more about it? Oh, that's a tough question. There is too many books. There's too many books about it. I couldn't say. I have been using Linux for too long. I never really read any books about it. I have heard of many books, but not really read any. I was planning to read one book that may be related to Linux, called The Cathedral and the Bazaar, but I don't think that's what you are asking about. DEI is bad. Accommodation, merit, individualism, and equity of opportunity. AMIE is way better. Okay. Neil Thompson says yes, exactly. The Archflex, okay. CodeBam says if you only want Steam, why not use Bazite? No, you got me wrong. It's not that I only want to use Steam. It is that I only want to use Debian on my laptop. That is the goal. I don't want Steam or Arch or Bezite or nothing. It's just that I want to test Debian 13 on a laptop as my primary computer for myself for the next month. And during this month, I don't want Bezite on my gaming computer, which is currently my main computer. I just want to use the current installation as my Steam OS, let's say it. It will stay as is with Arch on it and with everything that I use already configured. The only thing that I'm going to do is disable SDDM. So when I turn on this computer, it will not boot into KDE Plasma, but instead it will boot into Steam. I don't want Bezite to replace my computer. I want my computer to stay as is because it is already perfectly configured. I don't need. I mean, Bezite is a lot worse than what I have now. That's what I'm saying. Bezite will kill everything that I have on my computer, and that's not what I want. I want my computer to stay as is because the end goal is either I will love working on a laptop and I will switch to it completely, and then I will probably install SteamOS on my computer and make it a console. That is one of the possible end games. The other end game is that I'm not going to like my laptop, and I'm going to start thinking about getting a stronger laptop. So I'm going to go back to my main computer at that point because I will not have a powerful enough laptop. So that's another reason why Bezite cannot be installed on my main computer, because if I want to go back to my main computer, it will be overrun by something that I didn't really want. I hope I managed to explain myself, but if I didn't, I can do it again. MC meant Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft is nice. I play that with my daughter. Me who have still no facial hair and won't grow. That mean I will never be wise. Maybe, I don't know. Antonich says I tried Fedora 42 yesterday. Nothing worked good. So Arch works much better for me. It's with Fedora, it's kind of hit and miss. I don't know. Some people have issues with Fedora out of the box. Some people have it work perfectly out of the box. I'm not sure how that comes to be. I have also had some issues with Fedora previously, but it can all be fixed if you want to fix it. Alexei says that he can tell that I sound less wise today. Nino Heiji, welcome in. I haven't seen you before. I have heard good things about Vesktop as fronted for Linux. I don't know what Vesktop is. Discord client. I don't care about that. I really don't care. Then Eurof. Maybe it's a specific PC issue. Runs great on mine and everything working. Yeah, that's what I also think. I think Fedora is really good overall, but on some configurations, some random bugs happen. And I have noticed this trend among very random people. Darth Vader in the background. Yeah, that's my cash bucket. Kasica prasica, piggy bank. Yeah, I keep euros in there. La 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 la. I hope you heard that. Codebam says, okay, that makes sense. Nino says, to clarify, Vestop as Discord frontend for Linux, yeah. Neil Thompson, regarding DT's video on help vampires, I admit I've been guilty of being a help vampire. That said, users are mixed bag, and help channel techies are also a mixed bag. Many personalities in the free and open source software communities. I would say that you're correct, Neil Thompson, but this can be helped with a community having um, at least a semi decent leader. And when I say a semi decent leader, I don't mean that I would put myself on some kind of a pedestal or anything like that. I always consider myself absolutely equal to everyone else in my chat rooms and forum or whatever. But if it's something that I have created, and if none of the grown-ups can come to a viable I need a word, agreement, and things start to get out of hand, then I am the one who is required to step in and put the order back in its place. So from these other communities that you're talking about, I think it all comes down to how it is being handled by the leadership. Primarily, I have had experience of leading a public forum of 10,000 active users for 10 years. In these 10 years, I have had rules on my forum which were broken by some other rule that I didn't anticipate. And then I would put this rule into my rule set. And nasty people would find ways to go around my rules and make mess without without really breaking my rules. And then I would have to make my rules slightly larger. After 10 years of leading this forum, I have had rules like this fucking big. And nobody was really reading those rules anymore. So with my new community over here, if you go to my Matrix chat room, you can go ahead and click on the title and you will see something called Linux Renaissance README. And if you click on that, it will open up my rules, which are not working for some. Okay, refresh. So here you can find my rule set, which is also something that I call code of conduct. Code of conduct. Basically, just to make fun of certain stuff. And these are all of the rules that you're going to see. And every single grown-up individual who is unable to fit in this mold that I have put here, I'm just gonna have to deal with that person. And what can I do? What can I do? That goes along with help vampires as well, because if you don't understand what I mean by that, ask me. I will answer. But I think it's fairly understandable what I meant by all this. BSD Junkie says Arch works great right up until it doesn't. Welcome in, BSD Junkie. On BSD user, that rare. Are you a nerd or technology enthusiast? Arch on my workstation though. I have tried FreeBSD and OpenBSD. Both are pretty good. Both are pretty good. CodeBam says I use NixOS. Ace Nobody, welcome into the chat. Trying to find loopholes in rules like that seems childish. That's the human nature. That's the human nature of trolls that have come into the community with one goal only, and this is to make mess. They will find a way to make mess, no matter how you spin the rule set. And this is why I think it will be a lot better if my rule set is actually decreased to having only one. CodeBam says this page looks awesome. Yeah, it's my website, pretty much. I can paste it in chat if you want to check it out, but I have some of the articles on there. I need more liquid, guys. A lot of talking. Sorry, that was loud. A lot of talking gives me the need for drink, yeah. This is some kind of a quasi coffee, but it's drinkable. Yeah, that was a moment of silence for our fallen brother who hates Linux. I'm just joking. BSD Junkie says the basic online rule is speak to others as you would wish to be spoken to. Yeah, that's pretty much what it comes down to. How's your liquid ass experience so far? You mean this? You mean this experience? Have you seen what's being done to user space schedulers? I'm not sure what you mean, but it could be that I haven't seen what you're talking about. Answer for Alexei, my liquid ass experience is very, very slow and choppy. It's really slow and choppy. Don't install it just yet. I can't show you my phone book, but I can show you how the kinetic scrolling works on iOS 26. That was one demonstration. Neil Thompson, 2 common help channel problems I've encountered. Not having the pre-knowledge to understand them. Multiple helpers turning into a circle jerk of them trying to one-up each other's smartness. Yeah, that's when kids play around. The new kernel supports user space schedulers through a daemon called SCX. I did not catch that one. Maybe we can look it up. Love the hat. Are you a Fedora Red Hat guy? No. No, I'm somewhere in between Debian and Arch user. I also like BSDs a lot. I don't use Red Hat or Fedora at all. I tried Fedora multiple times, but each time I tried it, I have had some kind of issues with it. And it's not that it would be something that I couldn't fix. It's more like out of the box experience wasn't working. So I was kind of thinking, if out of the box experience isn't working for me, if I fix it now, what can I expect from this distribution later down the road? And another problem with Fedora is that it's kind of not a rolling distribution, but it kind of has as many updates per day as Arch Linux, which is a rolling distribution, and it's kind of annoying to have that many updates. I mean, I'm okay with getting newer software, like in a fairly frequent-ish basis, but really Fedora has like a bunch of updates every day. What's up with that? I mean, uh, I don't know. Do they? How does it work with Fedora? How is it that sometimes they have more updates per day than Arch Linux does? This is kind of weird. I'm not saying this is bad. It's just that they are in some weird gray zone for me. From one perspective, I like Arch for its rolling distribution and bleeding edginess, and that's what I expect from it. On the other hand, I like Debian for its stability and not having a bunch of updates every day, because once the security issue is recognized, they will implement it, test it, and release it. And it's not like security issues are happening every single day. So sometimes it will pass days and days between any kind of updates, because there is simply nothing that needs to be updated. And this is nice. You know that you are fully patched. You know that you are getting security updates, but you're not getting like hundreds of them all of the time. Like I'm saying, Arch and Debian being on the opposite ends, while Fedora is somewhere in a crazy weird spot where it's getting all of the kernels, all of the patches for the kernels, all of the versions for everything, but not everything. I don't know. It's just too many updates all of the time. It's a weird stable distribution. If you compare Fedora to Ubuntu bi-yearly, the one that is not LTS, they are kind of the same in what they aim for, like every 6 months releases, but Ubuntu really doesn't get so many updates. And now I'm sounding stupid, because at one point I was asking for updates on my Debian system, and now I'm saying like I don't want updates. But it's the truth is somewhere in between, right? Because with Debian Bookworm, one of the problems that I have had was a certain bug in KDE Plasma 5.27.5, I think it was. There was a bug that made me nervous, and especially nervous because this bug was fixed in 5.27.6 or 7. And Debian never updated to Plasma 5.27.11. So it's still the same Plasma 5.27, but they just couldn't be bothered with updating it for some reason. It's not like it would break anything. It's the same version of Plasma 5.27. I just wanted the patched version that doesn't come with obvious bugs. And this is where Debian kind of failed my expectations. And you can say whatever you want, but it is my failed expectation. From the opposite end, Fedora kind of gives me too much of the updates. Take it as you will. Alexei says looks smooth. I think they need to tune, Alexei, the transparency. It's too much transparent and it looks stupid. I have actually went into accessibility options, and in there you can disable transparency. So that's what I did. I am pretending to be some kind of a low vision person who can't handle transparency, and now it looks better actually. Lila Blogen 100 welcoming to the stream. XGUI for Studio, that is so cool. Alexei says, I never liked kinetic scrolling on iOS anyway. Can't scroll fast enough even if you try. There is an implicit limit. XGUI, I expect them to fix that, by the way. For me, some rule for online. Now look, I got a notification. And look, just look what the notification is for. Come on, focus. Stupid camera. Now you can read, I hope. Look what the notification is for. Can you read it? I know why I got a notification for this message. I'm just showing how annoying this is. XGUI for Studio says, for me, some rule online and even physical discussion is not too much use insult, pejorative word, or even albiced word like the R word. I didn't really understand you, sorry. BSD Junkie, I went off Fedora when they rolled out a buggy Wayland as default a few years back. Crazy thinking. Yeah, look, BSD Junkie, Fedora is a testing ground for new technologies for CentOS Stream. And CentOS Stream is like making it up to being stable for the next Red Hat Enterprise Linux. I think it goes like this. You may be able to compare it to Debian Unstable, which would be like Fedora normal, and Debian testing like CentOS Stream, and then Debian stable like Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Of course, it is not a perfect parallel, but it is as close as I can come up with right now. So of course there will be issues with Fedora every now and then, because they are putting all of the bleeding edge stuff into it. It is inevitable that sometimes they will break something. They want to drive things forward with that operating system, and sometimes it will not be perfect, you know. For me, I already read that Fedora is CentOS Polygon. Yeah, and Ubuntu is Debian Polygon. I don't think that Ubuntu is Debian Polygon. Debian is Debian Polygon. These words should be banned. Which words? Both Fedora and Ubuntu annoyed me. Yeah, Ubuntu is fine generally, but they are giving me some new annoyances that they didn't really have previously. We'll see how that goes. Also, people should be tolerant and accepted of different people like me, and else equity of opportunity should be applied when good and useful, but that's my honest opinion. Look, XGUI for Studio. The thing is, in order for the community to be as healthy as possible, it is a necessity that everyone in the community is exposed to all of the variety of different kinds of opinions of other people. This is really important in my opinion. Yeah, that's another one, because when you get exposed to all kinds of different opinions, this is where you learn how to behave towards other grown-ups. Because if you are unable to handle other people's opinions and you get angry with everyone who doesn't think the same way as you do, that is going to end up either badly for you, who is unable to fit in into a healthy community, or the some kind of a leadership of the community is going to have to take you out in order to not to ban you because you're a bad person, but simply to keep the health level of the community in order. That's pretty much it. And I'm always in and up for teaching new people how to adapt to all kinds of different opinions, because it's not that difficult to learn. David Schmitz, welcome in. I haven't seen you before. Snaps are so annoying. Snaps have some virtue to them that Flatpak cannot do, actually. So if you rely on some of the functionalities that only snaps can do, from that perspective, it might actually be a good thing for you. But I think that Flatpak kind of won. So it's no longer even a question. XGUI for Studio Linux Mint fix Ubuntu. I don't know what that is. Snapd is a joke. Canonical seem to think they are Microsoft. Canonical is a privately owned company, so they do not respond to any shareholders. So from this perspective, they still have time to become a better company for the overall community. Once they cross over into being publicly traded, that's the end of this company. BSD Junkie says, I already read this one. Ubuntu is like Windows, Linux. Okay. Alexei says it could. Plasma LTS releases are not reliable, therefore they scrapped them. They did scrap them in Debian 13, I know. On the other, no, Debian didn't scrap them, but KDE scrapped them. But okay. Therefore, they scrapped them. On the other hand, you should have reported it to Debian. Maybe they would have updated it. Worked for me then more than once. Okay, Alexei, I promise next time I find a bug in the KDE Plasma version that ships with Trixie, and first I will check it if it was fixed upstream. If it was, I will report it to Debian and see how that goes. Because Plasma sometimes, for example, now Debian is at 6.3.5, and let's pretend that I find a bug with this one. Maybe there will be a 6.3.6 that fixes this. We will see. we will see. If you want Fedora rolling release, you could use Fedora Rawhide. No, thank you. I have had enough of the rolling with Arch, and the Rawhide is a lot more bleeding edge than Arch is. I really don't need that much of bleeding. You know, it's just too much. Arch is too much. With all of the corporate influence in FOSS, Neil Thompson says, already well underway and increasing. I dread the day Linux Torvalds retires. That is one of my fears as well. The resulting power vacuum may cause a disastrous silent corporate takeover. I am very bad at looking at the crystal ball, but I really can't say that you are wrong on this one. Actually, let me catch my crystal ball and let's see how good am I with that. Whew, I got very sweaty by climbing up the very high up. So this is the crystal ball. But the problem is it doesn't say how many volts it requires for the power adapter. And I have had this since childhood. I really don't want to fry it with too much voltage. So I found an adapter that is 24 volts. Now it's very questionable if this is the adapter for this one, or should I put 12 volts into this? This is a Tesla coil. I also have another adapter that is 12 volts. So maybe I should go with lower voltage first. That kind of seems like a better idea. The reason why I don't have a hat is because I got really sweaty. I need to cool down for a moment. Huh. It works. Okay, so it's 12 volts. Let's use my network storage, which is not even on. How high is this? Should be okay. It can be lower. Okay, that's better. Guys, we need to foretell the future. That's what we are here for. I'm just gonna shut down this light as well to see what it looks like. Huh. Actually, we could stay like this. We could stay like this. Just for fun. Okay, let me read the rest of the chat here first. I'd suggest not using rawhide. Okay. Yeah, Alexei, sorry, I'm just catching up with your root. My default is Debian testing, and I pull it from unstable and experimental if necessary. Been doing that since years. I don't think it's very smart to mix and match unstable and stable, but okay. It's not exclusion, XGUI4 Studio says. Yeah, no. What can only snaps do? Snaps can do the command line applications. The Flatpaks really suck at that. So snaps are quite good at command line applications. And also snaps can do server applications. And the Flatpaks can't do server applications at all. Hassan type stream blank says, I don't know who Hassan is, but I'm glad you like it. Where it's just a chair. I guess being slow is a Snap core feature. Dobro je, Lajka, dobro je. Dobro je. Ajde, budi dobra. Budi dobra. Bravo. Dobro je, Lajka. Dosta. Lajka, tu dođi. Tu dođi. Tu dođi. Bravo. Tu budi. Tu budi. Where did my head go? I felt I was too sweaty, so I just put it down for a second until I cool down. Flatpak has NeoVim now and it's terrible. Flatpak has command line apps. Yeah, Flatpak can do command line applications, but the way it works is really bad. And I would not recommend you do it. But do feel free to install any Flatpak command line application and see for yourself how it works. I really don't like it. While the Snap implementation is actually fine. It's not perfect, but it's actually fine. Blank is saying it was a joke because he leaves the stream randomly during reactions and it's just a chair sitting there on stream. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so guys, what did you tell me that we should look into the future? What kind of future do you want me to find? Handy in an attempt to be more tolerant, we adopted policies of intolerance. I see what you're aiming for, and we're going to fix that. Blank Blank is asking, will XLibre last? Let's see if I can find the answer to this question. Will XLibre last? I can see problems. I can see those who are maintaining Xorg and Xvalent being angry at XLibre dropping Xvalent support. I can see them with white substance coming out of their mouth while they're yelling. I can see XLibre developer making some useful changes in the future and people willing to try it out to see how it is different from Xorg. It kind of gets muddy after this. I didn't see the rest of it, sorry. Will there be, David Schmitz is asking, will there be any more hard feeling about Rust in the Linux kernel? Will there be any more hard feelings about Rust in the Linux kernel? Let me check. I can see Linus Torvalds getting old. I can see him getting more ages to his life. And I can see that Rust is being really cool among the young kids. And not enough C developers are being born. I can see Linus Torvalds very afraid. I can see Torvalds afraid of not having enough maintainers. I can see Torvalds allowing Rust people to come in and contribute. I can see Rust not being able to do something in the kernel. And at that day, I can see C programmers of the Linux kernel laughing very hard. And the next day, they start accepting Rust people, Rust programmers. And after that day, everything is fine and nobody's fighting anymore. Neil Thompson is asking, I have prompted you to grab the crystal ball with my concerns about the power vacuum that will result from Torvalds' retirement. With the retirement. Yeah, let me see the retirement. Yeah. I can see Torvalds on Bahamas. I can see him on Bahamas drinking lemonade with a straw. I can see him using Windows and not giving up. Beep. Yep. I can see some forces fighting over who gets the leadership of Linux. Oh, there's me. I can see myself in there. I can see myself using FreeBSD. Yeah, sorry. I kind of got interrupted there. I just saw myself using FreeBSD and everything went blank after that. XGUI4Studio is asking, will the woke mob or the corporation take control over Linux? I think I just answered that one. X12? You know, for the project to be called X12, they would need to make a lot of changes. A lot of big changes in order to make sense for it to be called X12. I'm not sure if they are even planning to go down that route. Blank blank is saying I already tried it. Okay. Is GNU going to get pushed out of Linux? Ace Nobody, thank you very much for the $5. Crystal Ball Predictor is better than AI Predictor. Yeah, that's absolutely like 1000%. Is GNU going to get pushed out of Linux? Let me try to see what I can do with that. I can see people being angry about Rust sudo taking over the normal sudo, and I can see them being so sure that this is about licensing and this is about switching from GPL to MIT. I can see the same people being very foolish when they find out that this is not about licensing and that the current sudo implementation is not GPL, but it is already something very similar to MIT. So they kind of come to realization it's not about licensing. I don't know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell about GNU stuff. I can't see the GNU stuff very well enough. XGUI for Studio, will I become a Rust dev NPC? I can't see that. Alexei is asking, I left for 5 minutes, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, we are watching into the future. Rust can do anything C can do, CodeBam says. You may need to use the unsafe functions. Yeah, perhaps. XGUI for Studio is saying, I love this stream. Thank you very much. Using Windows, yeah. Avoid the lemonade with a straw. BSD Junkie is grinning on something. I'm not sure what was it. Neil Thompson is laughing very much. Dart, you're as good with the crystal ball as that shaman who led the GNOME Foundation last year. I can't remember who that was. Too long didn't read. Dart sees people being angry. Sounds about right. BSD Junkie is saying, will members of the Arch forums stop trying read the fine manual? Something is wrong with the question's grammar. Will members of the Arch forums stop trying RTFM? I'm not sure. Can you rephrase the question with a little bit better grammar so I understand what you mean? I can interpret your question in two ways. Will Linux get over 15%? XGUI Studio is asking. Now that's a tough question. That's a really tough question. Let me check it out. Will Linux have more than 50%? I can see Germans marching forward. I can see a lot of Germans. All of them are KDE developers. Yep. German KDE developers. They are making their own Linux distribution, which they are not going to be marketing as Linux. They are going to be marketing it as laptop with plasma. they're going to strike a deal with hardware manufacturers who are going to be selling laptops with Plasma. I can see Linux above 10%. I can't see beyond that. Sorry. I managed to reach like 10%, but no more. Blank Blank is saying GNU would be more about the utils than the sudo rs1. Sudo is not even GNU tool, as far as I know. And personally, even though the license, I feel like free software needs people like GNU. Handy Vio says, Junkie, they should keep being toxic. Users will use LLMs and Arch forums will go the way of Stack Overflow. Alexei says, brainfuck can do everything Rust can do. I can't understand what that means. David Schmitz is saying, Asahi reverse engineering and Rust implementations were impressive. They still are impressive. It all comes down to the individual talent, not the language itself. Alexei says they both are Turing complete, so nope, that's true. David Schmitz, will Asahi ever get Mac hardware fully supported? I can tell you that without looking at the crystal ball. No. Memory functions in Rust are much more complex. I'm not a programmer, so I apologize. I will not be commenting on that simply because I'm not capable of. I don't have the competence to participate in these sentences with the resolve. Handy Vio, if Apple wills it to be so, yeah, exactly, and they will not do it. CodeBam, so theoretically Rust can actually do more. Handy Vio, but Apple profits off of a closed environment, so probably not likely. Apple profits from locking you in. That's their main business model, locking you in. Blank Blank saying, oh no, not the Germans. XGOI for Studio, will Asahi main dev ever return in good shape and be great developer again? Are you sure we are talking about the same Asahi developer? Because I don't think the one that left was the main developer. As far as I know, the main developer is very healthy individual, both in the mind and the body, and that person is still working on Asahi. The one who left, as far as I am aware, was not the main developer. It could be that the GPU person left, but not the main person. Alexei is asking, did I look into the past by mistake? No, I looked into the future. Blank blank, how could Rust technically do more than C? Couldn't you implement whatever you want to do Rust with memory with C? I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to talk about that. I'm not sure how long can this work without overheating. It's quite hot on the touch, so maybe better to turn it off. Blank blank. Apple has some really good hardware, and from that perspective, it would be nice if it would support Linux out of the box, because the only thing that we have that is even remotely comparable are the modern laptop based on Qualcomm whatever processor that is comparable to M2 from Apple. But even then, I don't really want an ARM laptop. I'm sure that the battery is somewhat better, but I think Intel is catching up with the battery pretty good. AMD as well, and there will be a lot of breakage with software not being supported. Of course, the core of your distribution will simply be compiled for the ARM, but that's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about getting stuff from the outside, some binaries that you will want to put in your system that are only x86 and stuff like that. So I'm not sure. I would be very happy to get my hands on one laptop based on an ARM SoC. I would love to feel it on my own skin to see where the limit is and where am I going to get stuck with not having an x86 CPU. That would be my wish to tinker with and see how that works for me. But I'm not sure that it would be perfect for me at this point, not just yet. Not enough people are using ARM on Linux. That is the potential issue. And there is always voting with your wallet. I'm very much a fan of voting with my wallet. Ace Nobody says, I have a bone to pick with Apple's business practices. They still make decent products, looking strictly at hardware and implementation. David Schmidt, Intel is totally losing it. It's Apple Silicon and AMD, and in the cloud, Annapurna Labs, Gravitons at Amazon Web Services. Some of these things I didn't understand what you mean. Apple AM processors are awesome. Other hardware vendors have Intel, AMD, ARM, and RISC-V. RISC-V or RISC-V could be awesome, but this technology still has a long way to go. It's not even close to what we have now with ARM. In almost every benchmark that is probably not gaming, Apple M processors are more efficient. I don't know about that. For now, I'm just gonna have to trust you on this one, but I would need to see Linux running both on MMX and on a similar x86, and it must be the same benchmark on the same operating system. So Asahi, that would be a good comparison. Blank is saying if I was going to try non-x86, it would be RISC-V. RISC-V is trash, and I'm not saying this disrespectfully. I'm very much looking forward to RISC-V or RISC-V coming into our lives and being a viable technology. It's just that at the moment, it is so slow that there is no way in hell that you're not going to be able to do anything with that. It's like the fastest RISC-V CPU that you can get at the moment is like Raspberry Pi 2, roughly. It's going to be a huge pain to use. Also, you can go on the framework website, framework laptop makers. They are very close to starting to sell RISC-V laptops. So if you want, you can buy them there, I think in a matter of months. if they're not selling already, and check it out yourself. Or you can buy one of those small boards that look like Raspberry Pi but are actually RISC-V. You can test on that one as well. They have variants with 16 gigabytes of RAM, but still they are painfully slow. You're not going to be able to run your desktop on that, and your web browser and YouTube and stuff like that. It's just way too slow. At the moment, someone needs to start pushing this technology ahead. But overall, it could be a really good thing in the future. David Schmidt says RISC-V is not there yet, needs some more time. Yeah, somebody needs to push it. CodeBAM, when RISC-V is fast, it will be the future. Open source architecture. It's not all open source as you think, but we will see. There is a very high chance that some company is going to come along and make RISC-V fast enough, but their version of RISC-V is going to be somewhat closed, and they will not want to share the insights with everyone. There is that is a possible future, and my crystal ball is turned off, so don't quote me on this. I only know the future when the crystal ball is working. Laika, doji. Laika, doji tu. Doji, doji, doji tu. Doji tu. Doji, doji tu. Ajde, doji, doji tu. Bravo. Say hello. Ui, duck. Say hello to the microphone. Yes? I have to sit back because of the dog. Neil Thompson says it's time for me to go get some things done. Thank you very much for joining. I'm going to see you on the next stream. When RISC-V is fast, it will be the future. Okay, I read that already. Actually, RISC-V is currently used as specialized hardware sitting in controllers like GPUs and HBAs. Yeah, but that's not a desktop computer. Alex is saying, so you'll get about the same FPS on RISC-V as on iPhone with liquid S. Doesn't sound that bad. David Schmitz is saying, and makes it open source, which US doesn't like. RISC-V is open source in their core, but products based on RISC-V can be proprietary, if I recall correctly. Yes, that is correct, Alexei. I have already looked into it, and while I am looking forward to the future with RISC-V, it still comes down to how much of their designs are future RISC-V makers be willing to share with everybody. That is the question that remains to be seen. CodeBAM, like the boards they themselves produced, aren't open, but the architecture is, so anyone could make their own, if I understand correctly. Yes, you do understand correctly. You can make your own RISC-V. Blank saying, all I do know is I definitely won't be buying any more Apple, but yeah, I would be buying RISC 5 today, but that would be the architecture I would move to if I do. Let me show you what I mean. Do you guys know how framework laptops work? They are very disassembly friendly, and basically you take off the upper lid from the keyboard, then you take out the keyboard, and then you have the motherboard, which is always in the same form factor, and you can take out the entire motherboard, and you can put another one in there while keeping your SSD and maybe RAM, depending on which SOT is it, and you can keep your ports, your keyboard, your battery, your screen. It's very modular. Uh, so why I am doing this introduction is because the thing that you see over here is the framework's RISC V motherboard, which you can purchase. Maybe it's not on sale just yet, but I think they're planning it for this year. You can just buy it, and it's a drop-in replacement for any framework laptop 13-inch. Basically, you take out, if you have purchased a framework 13, you can take out your motherboard outside, whichever it is inside, and put in the RISC V mainboard. As I understood, this RISC V mainboard is going to cost up to 200 euros. They didn't really give it a concrete price. Oh, they have a price. Nice. Well, you can already buy it. I apologize, I thought it's not on sale just yet. You can already buy it, but you need the rest of the laptop to put it into, and then you have a RISC V laptop. Alternative is to only buy the mainboard and buy the case from framework for this mainboard, and the case works. It makes it a desktop computer for you. So you can only pay like 200 euros and a little bit more for the case, and you can use it right now without the rest of the framework laptop. So if that's something that you wish to tinker with, I think this is currently the best one yet. And the reason for that is that Framework as a company has promised that they will do everything they can to work with Fedora and Ubuntu to make these two distributions work perfectly on this particular computer motherboard thingy. And when they start doing that with them, eventually it will trickle down from upstream to every other distribution. But out of the box, you should be able to run Fedora on this thing without any issues, I think. Alexei is saying ARM has their own core designs, but Apple made their own proprietary one. Yes, I want to switch from Liquid S to PinePhone Pro with Plasma Mobile. Good luck with that. I'm just gonna say that. David Schmitz, will everyone derive their from ARM? You license the IP and take it from there? I don't know what you mean by that. Blank blank, I'm saying I wouldn't move to it today, but in the future that would be where I move once it's ready. Okay. But what I am saying is that there is a perfectly good motherboard you can use today for playing and tinkering. This one in particular will not replace your main computer, but as a tinkering thingy, I think it's good. What's the relative performance of the framework RISC-V board? I have no clue. Maybe they said it here. Targeted towards developers, tinkerers, and early adopters. This platform allows exploration and development with the RISC-V ecosystem. While performance and peripheral capabilities are currently limited, it offers a unique opportunity to engage with this emerging technology in a refined laptop form factor. Linux support is provided through Ubuntu and Fedora, and all technical support will be provided by the Deep Computing team. Please note that the board has 8 GB of RAM, microSD. This is very much a developer-focused board. We recommend waiting for a future RISC-V products if you are looking for a consumer-ready experience. There was somewhere where they said roughly to what you could compare this performance to, but obviously not on this web page. Which Raspberry Pi is of similar speed grunt compared to that? Oh, this is actually, if this is correct, this is actually faster than I expected. Can you guys look up if the bot is correct on this one? Because I have been using Raspberry Pi 4 as a desktop, and it's fine. It's fine. It's a bit lacking in the video playing power, but generally it's not bad. You can do stuff on it. You can learn programming. You can learn C on this one, even on this one. So this could be fair. This could be a fair experience for 200 euros. CodeBam says, "Oh, I don't know. I saw some videos and I'm okay with a few bugs here and there." Okay. David Schmidt's Jeff Geerling put together some RISC-V computer. Yeah, I remember that one. It was a milk. It was a Mars milk thing. Mars milk RISC-V. This one. That's the one that Geerling has. That's the one. It costs like 40 euros or something like that, or 50. But I think this one is slower than the one in the framework configuration thingy. However, this one is really cheap. Ace, nobody's saying RISC-V seems more economical for home projects like a personal router. Although I don't know how ARM-based processors deal with different tasks. I don't know. I'm using x86 for my router. Also, for your router, you really need a very good bandwidth on the networking side of things, and you need at least 2 ports for a router to be able to route. I don't know. For the VPN connections, you need some specific features of the CPU to be able to deal with encryption fairly fast. Otherwise, your VPN connections are going to be really slow and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm just brute forcing everything with Ryzen, but generally, I'm super happy. I think RISC-V at this stage is exactly what the framework team wrote on that webpage. It is aimed at developers who wish to understand the future technology and be ahead of everyone else in with understanding it, starting development on it, and being ready to deploy something when the time comes. So from that perspective, I think that's the main audience. Also, tinkerers. I think I would consider myself a tinkerer. I'm not really developing anything, but I would love to see how it feels. I would love to play with it. I would love to have it in a laptop form factor. It's just that framework laptops are uber expensive, so it's unlikely that I'm going to buy them and stuff like that. Blank Blank says, I want to turn my old Pixel 7 Pro with a broken screen into something like a router, but I'm waiting for a proper replacement. Pixel phone being a router. I don't know. Good luck with that. It could be a fun project, but I still think you need some good luck. Alexei says maybe that the board, sorry, I read beard. Maybe that board is closer to Raspberry Pi 4 due to a much more cooling headroom. Yeah, that in that regards, that could be the case. David Schmitz, I run OpenSense virtualized on Intel N300. Like it a lot. 48 gigabyte N305, 2 times 10 gigabit, 2 times 2.5 gigabit. Very nice, very nice. I think my router is somewhat similar in specs to yours. Blank Blank says it's not too bad as far as performance, has 12 gigs of memory, the CPU unit bench just below my ThinkPad 4910MQ. The dog has detected somebody. Laika, who? Who is it? Laika, who is it? Who? I'm gonna turn on my noise reduction so you can maybe hear the dog. Laika, who is it? Who is it, Laika? Who is it? Huh? Who? Who let the dog out? Who? No, she's just chilling now. Koito. Who? 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 Can we sing a song? Who let the dogs out? Who? 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 Nope, the dog is not interested. Okay, my noise gate and the rest of the stuff is back. I don't know, anyway, if I don't manage to make it a router, I can probably make it a firewall or something. Yeah, I'm always in for repurposing old stuff that still works, yeah. Android sucks at keeping persistent services alive. I also have an Android phone that has a broken screen, but it's just sitting in the drawer. I have no clue what to do with that. If you want to do some next-gen firewalling, you need some oomph. That is correct, yeah. The good thing about the Pixel I have, I can flash other operating systems on it. Yeah, but if it's broken screen, then you have to I don't know. Can you boot Linux from that? Like actual Linux distribution or something? Is that possible? And hook up an external docking station with HDMI and USB for the keyboard and mouse? Maybe you can make it a computer. Anyhow, what phone and operating system would you recommend for de-googling? If you use Pixel, then Graphene OS is good. If you don't use Pixel, then you are somewhat out of luck depending on what you need on your phone, because EOS as well as Lineage basically will not give you some banking applications and stuff like that. So if you do need that, you're going to be stuck very fast. Alexei has to go. Thank you very much for joining, Alexei. Bye. Blank Blank says Graphene is by far the best, only if you have Pixel. If you don't have a Pixel phone, then you can put Graphene on it. You heard new Pixels aren't supported by Graphene OS? I don't know. I really do not think that I will ever buy a Pixel, primarily because Google is not even selling them in my country. So I'm just not bothering to buy these. I have this one. So this is EOS, based on the yeah, I'm getting some messages. It's based on Lineage, and it's made by the same guy who, if I recall correctly, made Mandrake Linux. This one, this operating system. They aren't releasing device trees anymore. That is final? I don't know. I really don't know about the graphene. I wanted to try graphene, but they are not giving me a chance to give it a try, since they do not want to support anything beyond Pixel, simply because Pixel is basically because Google is giving them a way to just take their operating system and I suppose disassemble it and make it graphene. It's really easy for them to maintain, and if they would want to put graphene on anything else, they would simply not be able to do that the way they're handling it right now. David Schmidt's gotta go. See ya, guys. I'm a bit worried about the Android open source project thing for everyone. Yeah, we're going to see how that goes. Personally, look, I'm really honest about this and very passionate. I want to switch to this. I'm not even joking. I want to switch to this phone. This is my end game. This is what I would really love to accomplish. I have had enough of smartphones and everything that comes with the life with a smartphone. So this is my personal quest. I want to get rid of every kind of a smartphone. To be honest, this is also a smartphone. It's Symbian, but it's good enough for me. Northern Chimp is saying no. Like Darth Vader style, no! Or something else. Blank Blank says, I like having smartphone because I can't really have a laptop while working. Metal dust would get in it and ruin it. Yeah, that's your quest. I do not want to how do you say it in English? I don't want to put my own goals into other people's heads. There is a better way to say this in English, but I don't know how. I'm just giving you a glimpse of my own personal quests, what I want for myself, that's all. I have had a lot of addiction with smartphones, and what comes with a device which is always connected and it is always in my pocket and which has access to all kinds of social media, and this is my personal problem, if you will. And the way I kind of got rid of most of this addiction is that I started moving all of the applications that I could to my laptop. And when I want to reach something, I simply wait until I come home so I can turn on my computer. If I am able, sometimes I take my laptop with me. If I'm not able, then I just don't take it and I wait until I get home. And I try to do stuff in that way, to as much as I can. It's not always viable because some things I have to do via a smartphone, but generally I do my best to go towards the goal that I have given to myself, because I have seen my screen on time on my phone. It's really bad. It used to be horrible, and basically I have told myself that I have wasted like a third of my life on watching in a 6-inch screen, and I don't think that's good. I could have spent it with my family, with my friends, or even doing this what I'm doing now. I actually enjoy doing what I'm doing now, and I don't really touch the smartphone. So this is my personal quest, and it is going to stay ahead of me as one of my life goals, to try to see if it is viable in today's day and age to get rid of a smartphone. Guys and girls, thank you very much for joining my live stream. I need to take the dog out to do the dog thing. I think it's been a lot of hours since we went out, and I think she's hungry as well. She's sitting next to her bowl of food. But yeah, I have shared some of my privacy with you here, some of my personal stuff in regards to the smartphone and stuff, and it's a really important topic for me. So no hard feelings on that end. It really is my personal quest and nothing else. Codebam says, great stream, thank you very much. I am most probably going to put an announcement for yet another one, the same stream as this one, on the next Friday at the same time. Also, I will be having another live stream in 2 days on Sunday evening, but that one on Sunday will not be as casual as this one. The one on Sunday will be learning Linux. We are always learning Linux on Sundays, and it is a live stream that takes from 3 to 5 hours, and it looks like this. We are doing stuff like that, and it takes a couple of hours to go through entire lesson and take something home from that lesson. That's the live stream on Sundays, and on Fridays it's a really casual one with whichever topic you want to tackle. I'm all in for anything that it's related to Linux, BSDs, and free software. And yeah. Oh, sorry, I have a Twitch question which I didn't see previously. What do you still need a smartphone for? I'm just gonna answer this question quickly for the sorry if I pronounce it wrongly, Tianklang on Twitch. So this phone, I have a couple of icons on my home screen, so I'm just gonna go quickly through my phone to tell you what I still use on the phone and what I am ready to take out at this point. Photos. I have come to the conclusion that when I look through my photo gallery on the phone, all of the photos that are even remotely meaningful are the photos that I take with on a family trips. And family trips are not spontaneous, they are planned. And simply because they are planned, this means that I can take an actual camera with me to take photos on these family trips. So I don't need a camera on the phone. There is an application for tracking my gas spending of my car, which is something that I don't really need. I just got used to writing it down. But this is an application that I also have on my computer. So in practice, when I put the gas into my car, I can just write it down on the paper and put it into my computer. Bitwarden for my passwords. If I don't use a smartphone, then I also don't use Bitwarden on the smartphone as well, because I also have Bitwarden on my laptop. Wake up clock, I also have that on a dumb phone. SMS messages, yeah, whatever, I can have that on a dumb phone. So 2 banking applications. I use a local banking application and Revolut. This is a little bit of a pain in the ass to use on a computer, because all of the banking applications are smartphone first and computer maybe. So banking applications are a little bit of a pain in the ass. However, I could leave one smartphone in use at home without a SIM card and just keep these applications on the smartphone. So when I go home, I can click on them and pay for my bills and stuff like that. But generally, I could leave these applications on a stay-at-home phone. Navigation, I don't really use when I am on foot. I only use navigation when I'm in the car. Just the same, I could have one extra phone. I have one phone with a broken screen. I could use that phone for a navigation in the car and just leave it in the car. I'm not sure how smart that is to leave it during summer in the car, because it has a battery. There is a good chance the battery could explode when the temperature in the car reaches over 50 degrees Celsius. But I have to think about it a little bit more. There is also music on this phone, but I can buy a MP3 player and be my old school self again. There is two-factor authentication application. Two-factor authentication application I need on something that is always in my pocket. It doesn't really have to be a smartphone, but if I could find a two-factor authentication for my Symbian phone, I think that would be exactly what I need. I only need it to be in my pocket, that's all. I have some emails on my smartphone, but I don't really need them, to be honest. Mostly it comes down to reading some business emails, like from the company that I work for, while the private emails can wait until I get home. So it is what it is. I suppose a web browser, but nah, it is what it is. I'm this close to finding a legit scenario on how to get rid of all of that. Blank Blank says you can use text two-factor authentication. No, I cannot. Tian Klang from Twitch says, have always considered leaving a phone at home just for the banking apps. I was able to use the computer for two-factor authentication with the auto tool. Yeah, you can use two-factor authentication on the computer. The problem is that sometimes I need to log in on someone else's computer, and I cannot log in if I do not take my laptop with me, because in that case, my laptop would be having my two-factor authentication. So it would be better if my 2FA app would be pocketable. It's CodeBAM. It's not about SMS 2FA being insecure, although this is correct. But even more of a problem is that some services don't even offer SMS application not SMS application, but SMS authorization. Some of the services tell you that you have to have an application. So from that perspective, I have to have an application. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually made a two-factor authentication for Symbian operating system. Because this phone has a camera, it's a, I don't know, 1.3 megapixel camera or something like that. It's good enough for scanning QR codes. It could do the trick for what I need it for. I will look into it. I will look into it. I apologize if I didn't see someone else's chat messages in Twitch. It wasn't intentional, but I did catch Tianklang, so I did answer that one. Anyways, as I said a couple of minutes ago, I have to go walk the dog. And it has been a big pleasure to do this stream video with all of you guys and girls. And I am going to see you on at least Sunday, if not Sunday, then on the next Friday.